Once again, and thank you for joining me in Bute Road. Right, what have we been up to? Well, the terminal blocks have arrived, so I've just fitted those in this morning, and just used a set of nails really along the top, every other one, and then the plugs at the bottom will pull out, and they'll be connected to the control panel. I've also had some coloured red plastic covers, and that's on the point switches. So the points are now easily identifiable, and I might do something similar with the signals, just give them a bit more colour really and make them easier to see. The switch has now arrived for the programming track and main track. So that's a three-way switch, and the idea is there is a break in the rail there, which is here, and this piece of track just goes around to what will be a little yard, and when the switch is in the up position it can be used as a programming track. I have a centre off so there's no flashover between programming and main, and then down for driving trains in and out in the normal way. So I can drive the loco into there, switch the power off, switch up to programming track and reprogram the loco. So that's nice and easy. So the next job now will be to put the wires into there, and I've also, if I can do that without dropping everything, I'm doing a spreadsheet, so all the wires will be named and numbered on here as well, so that I've got a record of what all the wires are and where they're going to go to. So that is the next job now. Right, so the wires are nearly all fitted now. I say nearly all because there are four here that belong to this ground signal and that ground signal there. I'm having four new ground signals, so the two on this board will come through to here, but the two that are being replaced over here are actually going to go into the terminal block, so I'm able to bring the wires through and they're wired in there. So we're looking pretty good now, it's all coming on, and then as I say the bottom half unplugs and that will come on to the back of this panel. The wires will come onto the switches there. So we've had a good morning so far. Yeah, coming on. So that's the spreadsheet done, just a basic handwritten job for the wires that are going to go into the back of the control panel, and I've just put the feed in for the points now. So I've got the common for the points and I've got the common for the signals all wired in, and all the LEDs are wired in. So on here the red wire is from the 12 volt DC, and that's the common for the signals, and the green wire is coming from the 16 volt AC. That's the common for the points, and that's wired all the way through, so all the point switches are now linked, and that's the massive wires there with the LEDs for the two signals that have got the feathers and the LEDs to match the feathers. So yeah, another little job done. So Sunday morning, and I've got three of the four terminal blocks wired in now. Where there's gaps, that's where there's other wires to go from the signals, but all the point ones are now wired in. So we've got the two orange wires to that point, and the blue there, white there, pink, etc. So all the wiring is now getting there. I've had this up on the control panel, I've tested it, and all the points are throwing. Got a bit skew width. There we go. That's better. That's the one for the programming track. So centre two wires go to the rail. Two wires here go to the programming part of the controller, and the other two wires go to the main part of the controller. So that with the centre off, you've got no flashover, but you can control between running a train in, switching over, and then coming back to program and back to main again. So that's where we are there. That's looking good. Just some more wires to add now. So now we have the control panel wired into the lower plugs, they're plugged into the upper plugs, and we're ready now to fit the fascia on. So that will just go on there like that, and we'll see what it looks like when it's lit up in a second. And there we have it, the control panel is lit up. So switch between the reds and the greens, and the signals change. So this signal here is that ground signal there, so I can change it to red, and that has changed to red on the panel. And then I can do the same with the others up here. We've got the feather that will go up onto this road here, or the feather will now come down onto this road here. In other words, the feather is now off, basically. The feather is off in that position, and when I put the feather on, it will go up there. That's a new imaginary road that would actually be beyond the fiddle yard and the bridge. And then I've got the red and green signal there. And the same here, to come down into the yard here, we'll put the feather on there, and the feather will bring it down through that set of points into the yard there. And that's the head shunt, which is self-controlled again on there. So yeah, all signals are working. We're good to go. Just to also show as well, all the points are firing as well. So we've got all the points are working. So yeah, everything's working. The control panel is finished. You may remember on the previous video we showed the 31 underboard connectors that go across under here, connecting this board to the main board there where the control panel is. Well, I need 2 more wires because I'm putting another ground signal in the head shunt up here. So I'm having 5 ground signals rather than the 4. So in order to get the 2 wires across, it was a case of, do I put in or cut away for another 2 connectors underneath? The answer is there's not enough timber there left to do it properly. So what I've done, I've brought it above the baseboard. So same idea, there's one on each board. I've hot glued them to the board because they're individual terminals, and as the boards come apart, they come apart as well. So it's just the one for the signals. There's going to be an edging on the edge of the board here, and then there'll be a scenic piece, a bit of grass or whatever down over there. So that won't actually show, but I just thought I'd show you that. As nickname's Budget, so I've got to keep up the standards, haven't we? We've got to keep the standards going. There we go. Right, so there we go with the electric side. That'll about do for part 2 on the electrics, and we'll come back to the electrics once there's the other ground signals to go in maybe, and anything else to show. We're going to get on now with the scenics on the next video, so not quite sure where I'm going to start on the scenics, but we'll have a look. So thanks once again for joining me, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers now, bye.